Proclamation for Pride Month. And I'd like to invite up Robin Riley, Board of Directors from Petaluma Pride, to the podium to accept the proclamation. Whereas the Mayor and honorable members of the Petaluma City Council, the governing body of Petaluma, do hereby unite in solidarity and have common purpose to recognize, honor, and celebrate the diversity, shared humanity, and civil rights of our entire community and all its residents. And whereas each of us was born into the world the way we are and should be able to live without fear, prejudice, discrimination, violence, or hatred based on our race, ethnicity, religion, gender identity, or sexual orientation. And whereas the Petaluma community includes people of all ages and races who are lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, intersex, or asexual, and each of us should have the same unalienable equal rights, benefits, and responsibilities that are shared and enjoyed by all. And whereas the history of the world has shown that continued human progress and the success of society and civilization is built on the foundation of inclusiveness and acceptance. Whereas embracing our differences helps to fulfill the principles and creeds written into the founding documents of our great nation, in that our individual destinies and those of our families and communities include not only the aspiration of our federal constitutional republic, but the support and success of all our citizens in realizing the fulfillment of its promise. Now, therefore, be it resolved that I, Kevin McDonald, Mayor of Petaluma, along with the members of the Petaluma City Council, do hereby proclaim June 2026 as Pride Month in the city of Petaluma and encourage all our residents to join together in honoring our diversity and community. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. We would like to present this intersex inclusive progress flag as a gift from us to the city of Petaluma. This flag is the most recent rendition, if you will, and it has intersex, the circle represents intersex people. Excuse me. Thank you so much for this opportunity, and good evening. Good evening, everyone. Pride Month is often viewed as a celebration of the joy we share in the resilience of our community and in working together in the ongoing struggle for freedom and equality. I'm going to back up and say I'm currently the president of Petaluma Pride. My name is Jennifer. Beginning as a protest against discrimination and violence directed at LGBTQ people, Pride is a reminder that liberation is something we must continue to fight for together, all of us. Marsha P. Johnson said, "There's no pride for some of us without liberation for all of us." And she wasn't just speaking about trans people, and I believe she wasn't just speaking about LGBTQ people. Racist and sexist stereotypes influence, impose norms, and form the basis for laws. And we have witnessed transgender, non-binary, and intersex people facing escalated attacks framed as debates about gender, but at their core, they are about control. The control over people's bodies, identities, and personal decisions. And they affect the ability of our neighbors to participate safely in public life. We've seen that same desire for control in discussions about reproductive freedom, whether someone is seeking gender-affirming care, making decisions about pregnancy, or simply living authentically in their own body. The underlying principle is the same. People deserve autonomy over their own bodies and personal decisions. The harm of rigid gender norms affects everyone, extending far beyond the trans community. When society imposes narrow ideas about who people should be, anyone who falls outside of those expectations becomes a target. Black and Latina women have always been disproportionately subjected to having their gender questioned and their bodies scrutinized because, again, racist and sexist stereotypes define womanhood through this narrow lens. At the same time, boys, men, and other people assigned male at birth are often pressured by toxic expectations of masculinity, discouraging vulnerability, emotional expression, caregiving, and authentic self-expression. These rigid standards confine us all to narrowed societal norms with regard to our freedom and humanity. As a school psychologist, I can't help but thinking about how we talk about ACEs, which are adverse childhood experiences. They are linked to long-term risks for health and well-being. So thinking about how we raise our children, regardless of their gender, of their identity, thinking about how they perceive themselves in this world matters long-term. Pride reminds us that our struggles are connected. The fight for trans rights, reproductive rights, racial justice, and liberation is ultimately a fight against systems that seek to control our bodies and enforce conformity. Alok, a gender non-conforming trans feminine award-winning poet, comedian, actor, LGBTQ advocate, says that the debate transcends gender, that trans people are targeted because we have a different definition of not just gender, but about what love is. We are taught that we have to betray certain parts of ourselves to belong, and trans people remind us that we don't have to betray ourselves to belong. What if we not only thought of Pride as a way to accept LGBTQ people, but rather a way to open up the awareness and the idea that we can embrace a reality? We can embrace the richness of our uniqueness, our race, our culture, gender, socioeconomic status, ability, the way we conform or reject conforming. We can embrace that all while moving through this world. Our goal is not simply tolerance, but liberation. A world where every person can define themselves, make decisions about their own body, and live with dignity, safety, and respect. All of us in Petaluma Pride want to relay a message that we know to be true. The closer trans people are to being truly free, the closer we all are. Thank you.
Thank you.